Welcome to Sacred Magic. Violet is on a quest to bring sacredness back into our everyday experiences. Anyone can have an extraordinary life when they are able to tap into their sacred magic within. Violet and her guests will be sharing their divine passions, inspirations, and stories of connecting with their sacred magic. We are so happy you have joined us today. Let's get started with your host, the magical creator of Discover Your Spiritual Gifts, Vialet Rayne.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sacred Magic Podcast. For those that have been following, you might see a different background. And that is because we have moved Discover Your Spiritual Gifts from Littleton, Colorado to Centennial. And by doing that, we got a little smaller. And so my office came to my house. So this is my house video studio. I'm your host, Vialet Rayne. So thank you for joining us. This room will continue to upgrade because I don't have everything unpacked. We're just trying to move and unpack. But my guest today is Rick Finbow. I've been so lucky to meet him. We've been following each other for a long time and had never personally met until this year in April. He was walking down an expo aisle and I go, "Hey, I know you." We've never officially met, but I would love to meet you. And so we've been hanging out ever since. He's been working at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts, having classes and doing events. So we've been having a lot of fun. So Rick, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. And I love your new Zoom room. It's beautiful.
My new Zoom room. You have to have a Zoom room when you do videos. So it's a work in progress, but thank you. Thank you for liking it. So Psychic Rick is his website. We'll have all the information loaded at the bottom of this video. So if you're listening it on audio, know that there's also a video on our YouTube channel, and you can watch us as well as listen to us on the YouTube channel. But if you like listening to podcasts, it's www.psychicrick.com, right? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Right.
It's simple.
Simple. I love simple. And he does. I love simple. He does really simple. So Rick is amazing. He's been doing this for over 40 years, helping people realize their full potential. He does magic life coaching, and he also does his psychic mediumship work. So he offers one-on-one group sessions, classes, all those things. So I'm excited to talk to him. He also makes magical wands. We might get a peek at those today as well, right? Just a magic trick box, right? Lots and lots of things here. So how did you navigate down this path to do this type of work?
So I'm a natural born psychic, which means that I was very sensitive as a child. So I'm a highly sensitive person, an HSP, which is most of us that are in this kind of work. And so when I was a child, I was very sickly. I had asthma and emphysema at a young age of 5. When my grandfather passed away at my age of 10, my grandfather passed away of asthma and emphysema. I realized I was taking on other people's emotions and their sicknesses. So I learned how to ground myself as I went into my teens. And then I picked up my first tarot deck in what they called an occult shop back then. And I fell in love with the tarot right then at the age of 16, and it's just snowballed into something that I could not do. Like, I just kept on doing it. So it just kind of fell into place no matter what I was doing, whether I was on stage because I was a singer dancer. I was a magician in Las Vegas, and I was reading for all the ushers. I was reading for other people. I was a flight attendant for Frontier Airlines for 10 years, and I was reading for all the pilots and flight attendants. So it just kept on snowballing. No matter what I did, it's always been full-time, part-time my whole life since I was 20. So I started charging when I was 20. And I really turned that, what I thought was a curse of being highly sensitive, into a great gift for others.
You think everybody has some sensitivity, Rick? Do you think everybody is intuitive? Because I think a lot of people believe that they're not, that they don't have these gifts, that they're not gifted, that they can't develop them. What is your perception on that?
Everybody's intuitive. Develop it also. So it's something that you can develop. And for me, just by doing it, getting confident in doing and reading the cards, and allowing the information just to come. So I know the cards like the back of my hand, but I don't, I just like would fall back on that. I would just like let whatever comes come to me intuitively. Like, so the cards may be saying one thing and intuitively I'm getting something totally different. I go with the totally different, what I'm getting, what I'm feeling. So I use the cards to help me focus my intuition. So, and it does, it just helps me focus, get out of my own way, and then the information just comes. So I believe that happens by getting just confident in doing it. Like I teach tarot classes and classes in pretty much everything, animal totems. And what I tell people is you really just have to do it, because you can take a class, you can learn the cards, but if you could be just a card reader, like, and just tell what the cards are, that's not really intuition. Like an intuitive card reader, which most people are that do this, and it just kind of comes. Even my people that are in magic, so magicians, the type of magicians like that are in shows, they don't believe in this. They believe in cold readings. They don't believe in intuition and real magic. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. So they believe in the illusion of magic. So I even know some magicians that are interested in the tarot now because they know that that's popular. And as they're doing these magic tricks with the tarot, they're getting hits of things and they're amazing themselves. And it's like, oh, I didn't even know that was happening to me. So it's really interesting. You can develop it. I really believe that everybody has this, where it's an innate something we're born with. Whether you have it a little bit or a lot, it's just like anything that you feel, if you're drawn to it, like somebody that becomes a Olympic skater or something like that, that's like part of their path, what they have to do. It's not like most of it is like they have to practice. So it's a practice, just like doctors and lawyers, they're all practices, just like psychic work, we're in practice. So you just have to do it. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And it just snowballs. It really does become magical. Like, that's why I teach magical life coaching. And I like to call it like magical life changing, because people don't have enough magic in their lives. I have a lot of magic in my life. I'm very fortunate and I think it was because I was so sickly as a child, that even just to be able to breathe normally is a gift for me. So I always think of everything as a gift. I also have this like unwavering faith that the universe has my back no matter what it looks like. And I've always had that. And I think some people have that and some people need to train themselves into that. And I do believe you can train in your mind into that. It's a mindset.
I love that. I love that approach, because a lot of people believe that because we're spiritual leaders and we're intuitive, that our world is absolutely perfect 100% of the time, that we have no challenges, that we never cry, that we're never sad, that we don't get sick. And the world doesn't work that way, right?
Exactly.
But I think, at least from my perspective, it is how you move through that energy, how you work with that energy, how you lean into it and feel safe, versus having that victim energy of woe is me, everything's wrong, right? Of, okay, this is an experience I'm supposed to have, so let's just lean into it and see where it brings us. But yes. I love the fact that you train people to be able to do this work. Can you be a professional psychic and make money at it? That is the key question. And I love that I get to ask you, because a lot of people see what we do and they want to do it too. So what do you tell them?
Well, and I've taught a class at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts on being a successful psychic and the business of being a psychic. And first of all, yeah, you just have to do it. And everybody starts somewhere. We all start. Like when I started, when I was 16, when I was 20, I started charging. I think I charged $10. Like you got to start somewhere. And then I teach people that you got to like value what you do, and the more you do it, the more you get confident at it, the more you'll value what you do, and people will value what you do, and then you raise your prices. And yes, like this business is a billion-dollar business, and some people aren't in integrity with it. And then there's a lot of people that are in integrity with it. We are in an amazing time right now for healers, for psychics. This is an amazing time because people are looking for answers outside of themselves. And it really comes from inside. And we teach you how to like get all the answers from within rather than without. And, our world outside is scary sometimes, and there's always been a war. There's always been something going on, but there is also a balance. I mean, when we think about how the earth spins on this perfect axis every day, we never think about how wonderful that is, like that it's so magical that we don't spin out of orbit, or all of a sudden we don't have gravity. We don't worry about those things. We just trust. So, and if you can trust, I really do believe that our belief system and our trust system is what makes our lives magical, and everybody can have that. And yes, my life's magical, but it doesn't mean that I don't have trials and tribulations. It doesn't mean that, like you said, I don't cry. As a matter of fact, I'm in this place today where I wish I could cry and I can't, and that drives me crazy. Like, I'm like, because there's a lot going on in the world. I've had a lot of stuff happen to me in like the last couple of months. And I'm like, that's interesting, because I'm usually a good crier, but I feel like I'm getting to the point where I need to cry, but I can't right now. So I'll probably watch some sad movie, probably something about an animal. Like I'll watch Bambi again. And when, Bambi's mom gets in the fire, there's a real good crying part,
Right.
We're all human too. You've got to like, even though we have these great gifts and everybody has them, but it's really hard to read for yourself. It's hard for me to read for myself too, because I'm emotionally attached to my outcome. That's why it's hard when I teach people. I say, I can teach you how to do a spread for yourself, but it's going to be difficult because you have an idea of what you want. You have that, what you're like attached to. So it'll be harder to read for yourself, but it's way easier to read for somebody else.
Yeah, because you're detached, right?
Yeah.
I have people that come in and I tell people, when should you get a reading? Well, when you're emotionally elevated and all these emotions, it's probably not the best time to go get a reading, because you're going to influence the whole reading and the outcome. When you're in this neutral place of, I'm not sure what to do, there's several things, I'm not really emotionally attached where I'm going, those are great readings, because you're not influencing what's happening and spirit can really communicate with you. But when you're emotionally attached, hey, I'm dating this person, are they my all person? I really want to know if they're it. That is a bad time to go get a reading, because you're influencing it, because you want it so bad. The cards are going to show it in that space. And then you're going to leave that reader and you're going to be upset because it didn't work out and it wasn't the time to get the reading. I don't know if you've seen that, but I've seen that so much, that when people are emotionally attached to what's going on in their life, the readings aren't going to be as effective as when you wait till things are kind of calm and neutral and you're kind of open. Have you found that as well with readings?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have a new client that she's always texting me, I need an emergency reading. I'm like, I'm not available, because it's in the time of that emergency, you need to let things settle.
Right.
Like just to get a real good reading, let's settle first, and I'm usually not available the day of anyway. So just how my schedule is, I'm very fortunate to book up. Like right now, I'm booked up till next week. So it's just how it is. So if there was an emergency and it was an emergency that from somebody that I've been working with, I could probably fit them in. I have done that, but I know their MO and I know where they're at. But yeah, when you're in the middle of something, that's probably the worst time to really ask for help, because and I do have a lot of people that I do help that way, because I don't want to say it's wrong, but I do want to say that it's better if you're in a place of, let's see what's happening, where I'm at and where I'm headed. And in that space of, I can be in alignment. If you're in alignment and come to me, boy, that reading will be amazing.
Right.
And you'll be amazed. And it still amazes me. One of the reasons why I still do this is because I've been doing this for a long time. I never get bored, because I'm a type of person that gets bored easily, but I never get bored because I still amaze myself. And that keeps it interesting. And I'm always learning too, taking classes, learning different things to keep my brain alive, to keep the right and left side. I take different classes in musical instrument classes where I'm learning how to learn, like, to read a different type of music, like tablature for the ukulele, that keeps my brain young. And we need to do that too, because if we're always on the other side, if we're always on our right brain, that's not good either. We have to have the balance of the left and right.
Right. To have that balance and be healthy, right? It's really, really important. I love the fact that you coach people. You coach people for Magical Life, but I also know you develop people to do this as a business as well, and that you help them kind of develop that skill set. So anyone wanting to be a reader, wanting to do this professionally, Rick's a great person to go to, because he coaches you along the way and helps you do that. I also know you do animal communication. So is that spirit animals? Is it your pets? Tell me what that means.
It can be anything, but I love animals. Animals love me. And I'm allergic to everything with fur and feathers. So there's a highly sensitive person kind of curse, which I've actually turned into a great gift now, because if I wasn't allergic to animals, I would be an animal hoarder. I know I would be, and I wouldn't be able to leave the house. That's how much I love animals and they love me. So I even went to an agricultural high school because I thought I wanted to be a veterinarian. But then I found out I was too sensitive. When the dog comes in with a hurt paw, I'm crying. So, so that didn't work out. But that's how much I love animals. It was like going to school to be a farmer, that type of thing. So I love animals, and it just kind of snowballed into what I do too, because I can communicate with the animals. So I have a lot of clients that call when they're in a place where it's time to help the animal transition. Is it time? That type of thing. Should we do this if they're sick? I've had quite a few clients that, like, my dog has cancer and they need to amputate its leg. Do we want to go down that route, or should we let it heal by itself, or try to do other things? So I can help with that too. But I really do communicate with the animal. I can do it through Zoom. Even the animal doesn't even have to be in the room. And it's amazing the information that I get when I just open up to that. So I love all that. I do have an animal totem deck. I have one in front of me. It's 45 different wild animals, and I took all the pictures myself. All the pictures are just how the animals showed up in the camera lens. They're not photoshopped or cropped. And so I teach animal totems also, which is different than a spirit animal or an animal that you have on the other side. An animal totem can be like something you ask every day. Who's my animal totem today? And then see who shows up. So you might walk outside and see a pile of ants. Well, what do ants do? What's their strength? They're community driven. They're very strong. They're abundant. So it's like your affirmation for the day could be, I'm going to be hardworking and in community today, or I'm going to be abundant today. Just kind of like feel into like what that animal's strength is, whatever shows up. And you don't even have to be in Colorado where we have a plethora of different animals. You could be in New York on a subway and all of a sudden see like a banner for an insurance company, and it has a bald eagle. And you notice, oh, there's my animal totem. There's my animal for the day, the bald eagle. It means freedom, right? I am free. So there's all different things that I do with animals. And I just happen to have that knack. And I really believe everybody can do that also. Everybody does communicate with their animals, and they communicate emotionally with their animals. So the animal, if you come in the door and you're excited to see them, the animal's going to be jumping up and down and excited to see you. If you walk in and you're in alignment and it's just like, okay, we're going to be calm today, the animal will do that, be calm. So it's like they pick up on everything what's going on with our emotions. So a lot of times I help people like to really be truthful with their animals, because the animals know the truth, because they know you could be saying one thing like it's going to be okay and really feeling inside that it's not going to be okay. The animal knows it's not going to be okay.
Right.
So you just have to trust, and I love that part of my business. I actually had a client that emailed me before she came, and it was when I had an office, and she said, my puppy is a big pig. So just from reading the email, I was like, oh, she must have a dog with an eating disorder. And then she came to my office and she had a 250-pound pig that she brought to my office. So, it's very hard to surprise a psychic, but that time I was surprised. And it turns out that he was very aggressive to all the men she was dating, because she was dating, and this pig thought that he was her lover. So he would nip at the heels of the guys that she was dating, and she's like, what's wrong with this guy, with this pig? And he was an amazing pig. And pigs are amazing because they're very mentally stimulated. If you don't give them mental stimulation, they will go get angry. So and a lot of animals need that mental stimulation. We need to give them mental stimulation. And pigs are really highly, very intuitive, and they're very smart. They're intellectual. So he just knew that. So we just had to talk to him and tell him that it's okay. He's still going to be her baby. It's not going to be like this man is coming in and taking over. So, and then I got a letter from her, an email from her saying that it worked, and that the next guy that she met is now her husband, and they've lived happily ever after with the pig. So crazy stuff, but fun stuff.
The pig got two buddies instead of one buddy, got two buddies. Yeah. I love that. I love your enthusiasm. I love your positive attitude. You just shine and glow, and you just brighten up the whole space when you're there. So I absolutely love that. But share with us a little bit about your magical wands, because I'm excited to see your magical wands today.
Yes. So I started doing these just for fun for myself. And I make them out of chopsticks. So I always am saving chopsticks and finding chopsticks. And then this is a type of resin that I use for it's kind of like a glue gun. And I create the handles with something, an adornment. This is the Buddha with the fortune on top, like the fortune Buddha. So if this would be more for prosperity and abundance type of wand. Mm-hmm. And I really do believe that it helps us focus on whatever the wand is made for. So I can make custom wands now. I make custom wands for people. They either bring me something that they like as the adornment on it, that means something to them. We have one here that's Kuan Yin. If you like self-love, self-care, compassion, here's Kuan Yin, kind of with a waterfall effect. We also have some tubing here, that type of thing. So I can do all different kinds of things. Somebody asked me to make a dragon wand, so we have a dragon on top, and I think of the dragon as the treasure keeper. And so I put a Chinese coin here. So this is another abundance wand. And then I have a client who had these beautiful Bavarian crystal chess set. So I made the Dark Night of the Soul and the light night of the soul, the white night of the soul. So like,
Wow.
and they're pretty heavy because they're glass, they're beautiful. I was very blessed to have her gift those to me and to make those. But you can use anything. If you like cats, if you have cat maybe as a familiar, we put a little stone cat on top, a soapstone cat, and just all kinds of things. Gemstones. This is peacock ore. You can't really see it in this light, but it's really pretty. And this would be for self-esteem. Yeah.
Love that. I love that.
Yeah.
My
So I'm doing
students,
that. I love doing that.
my students have to have to find wands to work with. So they're always trying to find creative wands. So they would love that. You know,
Yes.
having the wands to work with, because we work with wands in the mystery school.
Yes. Yeah, and they can tell me what intention they want the wand to be made with, so I can make the wand with the intention of what they want to use the wand for. And if they want to find adornments, like I said, to put on there, I can do that, make the handle out of it. And it just helps focus, and your focus is really important, especially when you're working with magic.
I agree. So this podcast will be released 2 days before Christmas this year, which means we're heading into the new year. So tell us what plans you have, what activities and events you have for the first of the year that people can tap into.
Yes. And at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts, I'm going to look at my calendar because I have a lot of things going on even before that. And I wrote it here, and then where did I put it? Here it is. So in the new year, on January 17th, 6:30 to 8:30 at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts, I'll be doing the New Year readings and numerology. So, and I can have, how many people do we have in the classrooms now, the new classrooms? How many people could I
So
have?
if they're sitting at a table, you can get 12 people in there. If you
Okay.
just have them sitting in chairs, we can do a lot more than that.
Okay. So like maybe 20 with just chairs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we'll have about 20 chairs. And I'll teach you how to do numerology, which is fun to do for your friends and yourself. And in the new year, and then you'll each get a little reading for the new year, and like a global reading for us in the new year, what the new year has in store for us with that class. Then in February, I am doing the business of being a successful psychic again at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts. And then in March, I'll be doing intimate group readings, which I'm doing throughout. And I'm looking forward to a long and prosperous, what am I trying to say? Oh my God.
Partnership, collaboration.
Yes, partnership. Thank you. Partnership.
I love it.
See?
I love it. Partnership with Discover Your Spiritual Gifts. What I can tell you is I took his business for psychics. Now, no, I've done this for a long time. I actually took away a couple of really cool tips. And I like Rick, always like to learn something new. Always like to be seeing other people's perspective. Always like to be learning something out there and tapping into something. I think that's what helps us grow. And I loved his class. And the people that attended were talking about it, and people that missed it were like, I want to take that class. So I'm sure he will have lots of interested parties wanting to take his class, because we left with a pad of notes, all kinds of notes and ideas and things that we could utilize. So if you would like to be a professional psychic and learn about marketing and how to do that, how to build your business, it is a great class.
Thank you. I enjoyed having you in the class too. Yes.
It was a lot of fun.
We can always learn more. And I love giving out the information too. I really feel that there's enough to go around. I'm not the type of psychic who says, I don't want to teach somebody right because they'll do what I do. Nobody will ever do a reading the way I do. Even if I teach them exactly how I do it, it won't be the same. And the same thing with you. You teach your classes and things like that, and you give out this information, and because I've known in the past some psychics that are very like closed and like, I don't want to give away my secrets. I love to give away my secrets. I love to give away any tips and tricks that can make your life easier. Some of these things, you know, like I taught you in the class, that the apps that you can use and make your life easier about taxes and having to pay taxes and all that stuff, the stuff that goes along with any business, and really treating it like a business.
Mm-hmm. So
You
many
know?
people believe because you're intuitive and you're gifted that you should do this for free. And Rick and I aligned both on it has value. It deserves to be valued. You deserve to charge a price. You deserve to get a fair, marketable price for what you do because they gain from it. And it took you years to develop the skill. You had to take classes, you had to pay for the knowledge, you had to practice and learn. All of that has a cost to it, just like going to college or getting a certification in something. It deserves to be valued. It's not about giving it away for free.
Yes. And since the dawn of man, we've been bartering and trading shells or beads as part of the way that we show appreciation and value. And now it's money. So you have to also, like, you know, you really have to make your peace with making money at something that is a gift. I do believe it's a gift. And everybody has it. They can develop it more. And you need to charge for it.
You really do. You really do. I have a lot of people that don't know how to do that. Now, I also have the other side of that coin that you might not want to charge at a level that somebody else that's been doing this for 40 years, 20 years, 10 years, because you don't have that experience yet. Remember, Rick said when he started, it was $20. And you build up to that market value with your experience. And that comes with confidence, right? When you have experience in what you're doing, that's when you can really market at a level that's a little bit higher, right? But never devalue what you do because it's important.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So I love talking to you today, Rick. It was so much fun.
Thank you for having me. I love you.
We're going to have you back on here from time to time just to share with us, do different things. Because I love having guests back on to chat with and talk with, and then to be able to share their information. Because I think each time we do it, more people get reached. So I love that.
Yes. I love the work that you're doing. Thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Now, no, you can reach out to Rick at psychicrick.com. We'll have that email at the bottom, but pretty simple, easy to do. You can schedule a one-on-one. You can check out his classes. He doesn't just do events at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts. He does them a little bit of everywhere. He does one group session in an Italian restaurant. I'm going to do that one because I love Italian. I think that would be absolutely lots and lots of fun. So he does a lot of cool things all over town. So you just got to watch his events and check out what he's doing. He also does readings on his Facebook page, so you can tap in there as well. I like watching his readings, his daily readings, his week readings, his updates. So you can tap in there as well. Thank you, Rick, for being on the show.
Thank you. I look forward to it again.
Yay! Well, everybody, have a magical, sacred week. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll follow us on all of our channels. And I hope we get to see you in person at some time at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts in Centennial, Colorado. Have a great day.